you hear me? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to everyone. Welcome. Yet another edition of Men's Conference. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you for being with us, and thank you for giving us your time. It means the world to us. Having you with us all the time, goes a long way for us. Snuggle up tight tonight. We're gonna have a beautiful show yet again. We're about to go into a space of quietness, and when you are ready, please allow us to take you on a journey into yourself again. So when you are ready, please get yourself comfortable. This is just a space for us to meet up, discuss manly issues in a comfortable way. Welcome to all the new faces. As soon as you're comfortable, please do gently close your eyes and let us have a bit of quiet, just to quiet down the noise from the day. I'd like you just to breathe in deeply. Just close your eyes gently. Forget about the person next to you. Forget about everything else. Just close your eyes and go into yourself. Go into a very peaceful space where you feel your body exhaling all the stress that you've gone through today, all the worry, all the anxiety, all the trouble, the traffic, the arguments, the scolding from bosses, seniors, managers, scolding from your partner, stress from lack, worry from unemployment. Exhale all of it out. Breathe it out. And that's my body expressing and expelling the excess energy that I did not need. And as you're there, and I want you to feel your body plugging into Mother Earth and grabbing all the nutrients that it needs. All the men and the women that sit there and are having a dislike for their body right now, I want you to plant your feet into Mother Earth and feel her replenish you and give you the strength to be able to come back. Feel your body returning to you. Feel a certain love. Feel your spirit hugging that body. Wherever your body is asking for love, send it there. If your shoulders have been sore, it's because you're carrying so much. Send love there. If your feet are aching, it's because you've walked a long journey in this life to be where you are. Send love there. Listen to your body and examine it. Just sit in that silence. Listen to your body. Calm yourself down. And allow your body to speak to you and tell you where it needs love most. When you are ready, please join me again. If you're watching, please let me know where you're joining us from in the comments section. Please let me know where you're joining us from. I'd love to know where you're from. I'd love to know where you're watching. Us from. Tonight I decided we would give a couple of loved ones to join us and ask us a couple of questions. And when you're ready, I want to introduce you to a brother. He's about to join us, and a sister who's also going to join us. Tsireletso in the house. She's going to walk with us because tonight the ladies are going to ask us a couple of things that they don't understand about us. Why do we behave as we do as men? And I also got one rand. He calls himself One Rand and a Dream. 1 Rand and a Dream. Um, I don't know if your screens are, if we can see you guys, we can meet you. Please unmute Tshireletso and then introduce yourself. Tell everyone I know where you're from, but
I'm trying. All right, there we go.
every,
Hello, hello.
yeah.
Thank you for having me. I'm Tsireletso, originally from Northwest. I grew up in Gauteng province, and I currently am based at Polokwane. So
All right.
yeah, that's all. Or do I need to say anything else about myself?
Yeah, anything that you'd love to say about you, please just let us know a little bit about you, what gets you going, and let's go.
Yeah, I am a civil engineer and a transformational teacher, life coach, and facilitator through the philosophy of Heal Your Life, based on by Louise Hay. And I love community building,
Okay.
engaging, and growing together. Thank you.
100%. Welcome. This is Umoya. This is the space for us to grow together, and we hope that you'll stay a part of our family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. One run in a dream.
Mkabateli, how's it?
Blessings upon blessings upon blessings. I don't see you. I don't see you at all. One ranta, we can't see you. We don't know who
Um,
we're
I'll,
talking
I'll,
to.
I'll turn my camera on. I'm just still getting warm a little
No, no stress. Um,
bit. It's a little too good
100%.
afternoon.
100%. Tell us a little bit about One Randa if possible. But whilst you're preparing and you're putting your camera on, I'm going to start off with Cyril. Cyril, tonight we give you an opportunity as one of our sisters to say, listen, guys, La Flop, or you guys are doing well in this department, but in this department, what are you guys doing? Where would you want us to start? What would be the first point of contact that you want to ask Kamaji that would say, guys, what's up here, Gandhi?
So, let me start light. Let me start light. I would like one of the things that we would like to know as girls, as peers, is where do you draw your inspiration from? Where do you draw your inspiration from? First question.
I missed that. I missed that totally. Sorry. Can you repeat that for me, please?
Yes, I saw that the internet dropped a little bit. My first question is, where do you guys draw your inspiration from?
Right. First question is, where do us guys draw inspiration from? I think a lot of us have drawn inspiration from survival. So we are inspired by staying afloat. And a lot of us have had to then go and learn and educate ourselves, not get educated, but educate ourselves on how to expand the little bit of knowledge that we gathered in the 12 years of schooling and the societal learnings. And then we've had to go and unlearn what we learned. So in the streets, whatever it was that we picked up, we had to go and unlearn it and then learn what being a man is. And then we inspire ourselves by remembering where we come from.
Nice. Okay. And as men of today, right? Our generation. Let me talk about. I want to relinquish the 70s. The half of that decade already has 5 years to go before they properly think about retirement. They're at 45 going on to 50. And I believe at the pre-EU Sendala, the late 30s all the way to 45 and beyond, we are the elders or the parents or the accountable older people in the community right now. And we also have inherited quite a lot of ailments, right?
Yeah.
And I want to tap into one of the things you have publicly spoken about, where we as people of color, right?
I think we're losing Tshireletso there. We're losing Tshireletso, and that's a valid one. I want us to conclude that one. But let's welcome Kokum Jimmy, the one that is born to run. Sabona Koko. You're muted. You're muted. We cannot hear you. You have muted.
Sorry about that. Sorry, I had not network problems. Sorry.
No
So
stress at all.
So my name is Okokomkichimi, but Ekaya Khule Ngonqobile Mangoba. Born and bred in Mamelodi. I am a traditional healer. I'm a private chef as well, and I'm a sister in healing. I can say that.
100%. 100%. Welcome. Tonight we're talking about amaflop wethu out, or the good things that we do as amajita. What are some of the things that you'd want to ask a guy, ask a man, ask a brother, ask ubafo?
Bafo. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot. You're putting me on the
Well,
spot.
we can only start if we take one.
Eh? Then you.
We can start if we take one at a time. One at a time, and we can roll with it.
Ooh. Why? Yo, I don't know. Why is it that relationships tend to change when we have kids?
Right. The reason that a lot of relationships take a twist and a turn once the kids come alive is women tend to nurture and care for their relationships with their kids slightly more than they do with their partners, and it's a natural instinct because a woman now feels this is an obligation that I have to raise these kids. Yes, I have this partner, but these kids are mine. They are my duty to raise. They are my responsibility. They are my, and so a woman takes all of her energy and she plants it into her kids. And a lot of women have forgotten who they have men in their lives. So a lot of women have lost contact with their partners because once the kid is around, they solely focus on raising this child and they simply forget about their partner and their partner's needs. So small stuff like allowing the child to sleep with you guys, it creates a gap between the two of you guys because the child sleeps in between the two of you, which makes contact much difficult between the two of you, which is a much needed contact. And this breaks the couple up because they lose contact with each other. So it's essential that couples, or let me rather put it this way, it's essential that women remember that the man still needs you post birth. Make sense?
Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes
100%.
sense.
Let's welcome one randa, one rand and a dream.
A dollar and a dream. Good afternoon, good evening, everybody.
Good evening, King.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you. Oh, one randa, please introduce yourself. Where are you from? Where are you born and bred from? I saw people from Sosha, I saw people from Worcester. Excuse me, my English goes south. Worcester. Yeah, there we go. There's people from Lesotho. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. You could be anywhere else in the world. There's a link down below if you want to join us on the video. If you've got a question or you've got an answer to something and you're like, I want to be here, I want to listen in. There's a link there. It says StreamYard. Hit that link. We'll come up. We'll put you into the show and we can share with you. It's much needed. Let's grow each other up. Let's grow each other. One Randa, where you from? A little bit of background so who we know, who we're talking to. We're not talking to a total stranger.
Yeah. So my name's Khomole Moschoto wa Khamokabane. A lot of people know me by the name of One Ranta, and Dream is the handle that I use on a lot of social media accounts.
And I first want to thank you guys for allowing me on your platform. I think
Welcome.
this is a very, very great platform, very great way for young men and women to learn from each other. So, just to answer the first question, me personally, I've always drawn my inspiration from the older men in my life. So, my uncles, you know, just the men in my life, the older gents that I will hang around with, you want to align yourself with people that are like minded, people that will build you in a way. So that's where I would say I grow a lot of I get a lot of my inspiration from.
100%. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. Ngube Edward, there's a link there if you want to come on. Very, very valid point. He says that a lot of relationships often go south when the kid comes around because they bring a lot of truth. They expose that you guys weren't ready for each other, and that you guys were not in equal yoking and so forth. So, Ngube there giving us a very valid point. You are still saying something. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome home. This is Umoya, because everything is right. Umoya, right. Welcome. I don't know. Ika Malgasisi. Hello, can you hear me? No? Okay, cool. I'll give it back to Tirele. So, you were asking a question. You were still in the middle of something. You were asking. You were saying that we've touched before on this discussion, Oguti, the imbalances of balance.
Yes. So we've inherited a lot of ailments, not just the women, not just the guys,
Yes.
and there are apparent barriers in coming together and co-creating balance, right? Even with the parenting dynamic, how do we create? How are men of today resolving and facing issues upfront? Because we are seeing men who go and process with other men and not with their partners. What is it that would encourage or allow our partners to be vulnerable and feel safe to share their heart and find solutions together?
I think people only share when they feel the space is safe.
Mm.
Remember, Uguti, we as black men grow up with a trauma of the only time that umama was speaking was when she was scolding. So a
Yeah.
lot of our parents had the notion, Uguti, children are to be seen and not to be heard. So
True.
in the morning you'd be fed and then sent out to go play. And the only time that she's calling you is to eat or to scold you. So it's a subconscious trauma response. So what we then do is we know with Amajita will generally side with you, even if it's rubbish. They will side with you. So it feels safe. And there's something that I've picked up with a lot of guys is they will tell the truth to other men in your absence about what you were saying. Instead of telling
Mm.
you they will say, this guy has a really good wife. Why is he doing this to her? But the ears that really needed to hear are yours. And
Mm.
this is a phenomenon that is like it boggles me. Like men are not men anymore because men should be able and men were able to say, "Insizwa yake to your bed." That is a wrong thing. This is your family is not in need of this, that, and the other. And we're finding Gucci more and more men are siding with each other no matter what, and then discussing it in your absence.
Hmm.
So it's
Interesting.
it's a phenomenon that we're finding more and more. That's why you find this car wash culture. Saturday we're at the car wash, Sunday we're at the car wash, and then you ask yourself, when did the kids see you? Because on Saturday morning I went to sports with the kids as umama. We got back and we passed by McDonald's. Yes, you funded the McDonald's, but you're not present at the McDonald's table. So I'm learning Nguti, they are really enjoying and they love ballet and they love this. And now we get the thing that happens in our society where umama is then reporting to you as ubaba, but the kids want to participate in ballet. And you're like, yeah, mina njalo nje. It's always money. It's always money. I must just cough up money. Now they were playing squash. They don't want squash anymore. Now what must happen to the squash racket? Now what? Now it's ballet shoes. And you don't understand this because you've not seen them participate in these things and you don't see how much joy it brings them. So that element of creating a safe space, I think if you and your partner are able to have uncomfortable conversations as early as possible in your relationship, you guys will be able to have that safe space.
Great.
Guys, feel free.
And
I'd love to, 1 second, I just love to welcome Usisi Siphiwe. Singakuvaleli ngaphandle. Welcome kukamoya lana sanjiswa umoya uyabona bese kufudumala everything yagijima. So if you don't catch the train, you're staying behind. So welcome moyo right, moyo prize. How are you, Sisi? Stores. Who is Piwe? Where is Piwe from?
But I currently ngihlala edrobheni.
100%. Welcome. What would you like to know from Ama Out? What's the question you've got for Majid?
Okay, I wanted to ask Uguti, why is that after a breakup you make up and then guy tends to be cold. They are not the same as the first time in the relationship. And then the second time is they just cold. It's on and off. You don't know if it's hot or cold or jan.
So I usually tend to make the analogy of two different things. Umki does a light switch, and he gets turned on and turned off very quickly, and the lights respond immediately. But umfazi is 200 candles, and it takes a long time to light her up, and then it takes a long time to turn her off. But when she's turned off, if you're gonna be able to light her up again. So umjita can the lights are on, the lights are off. And that's what happens in a guy's mind, is that whatever it is that broke you guys up or split you guys up is still there when he returns. That's the first mistake we make, is that we've reunited, but we haven't fixed the thing that separated us. So a lot of the times, and we move apart because of a certain thing, and then we think, I miss you too. I haven't come back. And we do it again because of loneliness and missing the other person, and we forget the original thing that split us up. What is it? Nakhona Ubaba Nhlapu Skekete is saying something very important, that it depends on what happened as well before the breakup. Because if we broke up because of infidelity, infidelity is an off switch. And I know what the ladies are going to say right now, but what you guys are quick to call out infidelity, but nibapis. But in a guy's mind, infidelity is it doesn't just shatter what you guys have, it shatters him, how he views himself, how he views his finances, how he views his sexuality, how he views his societal standing. If you are sitting somewhere and you don't know the term, when he comes into a space, nothing nothing changes. Like Auna's tunes, nobody feels your space, nobody feels your presence, nobody feels Uguti, this guy's here. One Ranta, what does infidelity
No,
feels like to you?
personally,
Have you had your woman cheat on you?
yeah, personally, I think if it's not an infidelity thing, then maybe I lost you for whatever reason it may be. Remember, breaking up to me sometimes it just seems like a loss, right? And when I get my woman back, there's still that lingering feeling that I might lose her. Like Wandile said, that lack of communication of what actually broke us up and what put us in that place where we broke up, right? And now we're back together again. And we must remember it's an exchange of energies. However, you reacted during the breakup now shows me the type of person you are. And now when I'm coming back, I have to come back with the understanding of this type of person that you've become, right? And now I have to treat this situation accordingly. But if it's an infidelity thing, hey man, I think it depends. If like I've always heard people say this, that um if a lot of people know about the infidelity, for instance, if the woman was the one that cheated in the relationship, if a lot of people know about it, then it's highly unlikely that I'm gonna get back with her. But if it's not a lot of people that know, then it's easy for me to get back with her. And with the same on on the same note, if there's not a lot of people that know about it, then there's not much change that I need to be doing. That you're the one that needs to, be working on yourself and making sure that the relationship gets better. But now there's a lot of people that know, and I love you nonetheless. So I get back with you. I am still looking at myself like, or rather not how I look at myself or how I think other people look at me for getting back with you. This is why Wandile would say that, for actually loving this person and giving them a second chance. So now I behave differently because I can how you understand. I don't want to fall for the same trap over and over again. And this is why, to answer that other question, this is why I would rather confide in my friends as opposed to confide in my partner. Because a lot of the times when breakups happen, then you use all those things that I gave to you, use them as ammunition. You understand?
Thank
Now
you,
you
thank
use
you,
them as
one
ammunition.
Ranta.
There's that lingering fear. There's always that lingering fear in men. And a lot of times women think we don't go through these emotions or we go through them differently. No, these emotions are the same. Emotions are emotions. So that fear, that the level of fear that you feel of losing a valuable partner, we feel it as well. So this is why sometimes it's just this thing of a lingering fear of, oh, I tell my partner this. What if they use it against me? You know, now I'm back with this partner. What if they do the same thing that they did? It look like I'm still stupid. So
100%. Well put. Thank you so much, One Ranta. We've got a question in the comment section. I'm going to give it to you, Koko Mkichimi, now. Ne? I just want to read the question.
Okay.
Offense, Win Love says, I have a question for men. Looking back, what's a lesson you learned from a past relationship that you carry with you now? We'll get back to that one. Koko Mkichimi, I'm going to give over to you.
No, I wanted to ask something, but yeah, I'm hearing one rant. One rant. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. The Mrs. Bielan, I'm a conversations we never have. But now angithi manje Mrs. Bielan, ne? And then umuntu repeat the same cycle. Yenza yini? Angisho manje sesiyazi ukuthi yini esenza ukuthi sihlukane. But now sesiyabuyela back to the same cycle. As if now angisho manje sesiyabuyelana. Angithi uthi manje so you coming back with a different mentality now, angithi angazi ukuthi if I'm making sense. But instead of
100%.
getting
But I think
better,
your question.
Oh, you were saying?
I think
Maybe my
Yashuga
bag
because
for me.
I think yeah. What I'm saying is I think Yashuga on different levels in a sense, Yoguchi. If we're talking about infidelity and you guys get back together again and he keeps on repeating the same cycle, that's unlearned behavior and there's a trauma sitting there that he's operating from. So in all circumstances there's a root cause, and sometimes you think about infidelity thinking this guy enjoys this thing, but you might find Uguti where he grew up he doesn't know stability, so it's norm to him to hop around because he's seen it all his life. Abu Malume did it, his dad did it in front of him, his brothers are doing it. It's now his turn to do it, and it's norm. Even Ekaslake, people are hopping around. So it doesn't feel out of place. Being faithful and sticking to one partner, that feels out of place and abnormal. So Yigo Amatota, like even in our communities, and if we're honest with ourselves, is in our communities when we have a guy who's solely focused on their partner, we usually say bamujisizo, awujilo, awugibar, ujil, udlile, udlisiwe. And a lot of the times might just not be the case. Then I'm going back to a question Win Love. Um what I've taken from a previous relationship is I am learning. I am slowly learning in my own space to appreciate my person differently. Ukuthi umuntu wami, is not my partner, my previous partner, and I'm learning this. I'm learning to trust her more. I think Umkichimi is the one that's giving us feedback. I think Umkichimi is giving us feedback. If you're able to mute her there, please for us. Um, so I think what I've taken personally as a guy is not to play comparison. My partner is not out to hurt me. Um, Rita is here to love me and wholeheartedly so, and she's done exactly that. It's nothing to do with hurting me. She's come into my space, and she's given me a home, and we've created one. And in our union now, we've said we do forever, and that's what we do forever. Where I'm forever learning, forever growing, forever fixing, forever reestablishing. I'm doing everything. So that's exactly what we're doing. So Axasien gamer Dladla. Welcome, unique KB. The only lady to
So yeah,
take me all over
I
Africa.
wanna answer. I want to answer that question. One thing that I've learned from previous relationship, earlier on you asked me if I've been cheated on before, and yes, I have. I have been
Yeah.
cheated on before, and that's the one thing I learned is how I found out. I am never going through romance phone ever again. I don't care if I want to use a calculator or if I just want to play a game or if I'm definitely never ever. That's the one thing that I've learned with the people's phones sometimes. If bazokhetha abafana. Play fair.
But
Can I
before
come
I come back
in?
to you, Cyril, I want to just give an opportunity. Please do come in. Cyril, it's KB. Feel free. Welcome, Sekaya. This is a Gautrain Yakichima. Mara umele ibambe siparapara Yakichi. Cyril, come in. Then we'll give KB a chance.
I'm hearing you guys, and what you've given as responses for me, it sounds like repeated. Some of it sounds like repeated information, except for the trauma analogies. And my question now becomes, um, why and when, or when and what would be the reason, and when would you men decide to be honest? Because a lot of these um, ailments, it boggles my mind that we come together as two human beings, but you are unable to choose to be vulnerable, even when it's hard. Relationshiping is just hard. Even in friendship, it's hard to be vulnerable with a friend, you know. But it takes a level of a choice that, you know what, I choose to be vulnerable. I don't know how to. I think I can accept that some of the men don't know how to be vulnerable, and that's okay. And there's a lot of women also who don't know how to be vulnerable, you know. And imagine now, and some knew how to be vulnerable, but they've been conditioned by work to be so hard, and they spend 8 hours there, they come back as robots. We come back as robots. And um, I want to know from him, when would you make a cognitive choice to be present? Kuzonya, kuzoba mnandi, kuzoba whatever. Sizokhala, sizohleka. It doesn't matter, Mare. When are you going to choose to be honest in the choice that you have made? And even when you change your mind, because now we are seeing men who approach women and then get a relationship, it's a do, and it's like, dude, you came, you asked, and you said you're going to be there and be a friend or be helpful, or, you know, I'm not here to bring problems. 1 2 1 2. Now, nyamalele. Akasa explaining. Akasa ati goodbye. Stella no goodbye. Ke. It's a goodbye. The same way you said it.
I think I think to answer to that one, I'll give one Randa a chance if he wants to as well. I think on that one, vulnerability comes at a point where you get to a point where you're tired as a man of repeating the same thing. You know, Babuam did this, I'm doing this, you know, Mkuluam did this. And now we're in the same loop. And you get to a point where you realize, Uguti, your biggest strength is in your weakness. Because in your weakness lies that strength that you need to come out. And because you're afraid of going to this thing that is just wrapped in weakness, and as soon as you remove the wrapping, you realize it was actually strength. A lot of men are not ready to go there because of societal norms. It's got nothing to do with the human mind or emotions. It's just because society has said you are weak, and a lot of men are afraid to do what's weak. And that's it. It's solely it. As soon as you heal the societal wound, you are able to go to vulnerability. Bazotini has created a lot of men who fear vulnerability and weakness of emotions at the expense of Bazotini. I hope that answers you. I think I want to welcome KP. I want to welcome Usbo. Welcome, guys. KP, this is your opportunity, and then we'll hand over to Mabo.
Hi everyone. This is Kadelo Uni KB. So actually one of the topics that I want to raise today, I think Wandile once spoke about it, but I feel like he was a bit vague. I just want to know, ne, why do men feel intimidated by powerful women? Yeah,
Um,
just that. Like just that.
I think
Full stop.
men.
It doesn't have a comma or an explanation or anything. Just that.
Mic drop. um,
Eish.
I think a lot of men haven't done the work of discovering themselves within themselves. So when you meet up with a woman who has got her things together, the first thing that comes to your mind is, my things are not together. So the first thing, instead of getting into that space and going, let me learn from this woman, the first thing is the brain does two things. It's fight or flight. And a lot of men have chosen flight instead of saying and going, okay, cool. Here I will have to humble myself and learn. And a lot of men could have done a 360 with their lives by learning from a woman who's got it together. If we look back, Emakaya way too, our moms used to be the ones that used to take care of the finances. because she was good at it. She took care of the household because she was good at it. And now a lot of women don't even need men to take care of those finances. They've got their own finances. All they need you to do is come in and be the man in the household and give direction, give guidance, give presence, give us give us that power, give us that, you know, give us you as in daughter, because this woman can never be it. She can never be the man. So a lot of men are running away because they fear ukuthi there's nothing that they can offer. Simply put, men, a lot of men, there's nothing they've got to offer because unali yonkinto.
So the first question I'll ask myself is, what am I doing for you? What will I do for you that you can't do for yourself? Right? Because a lot of things you can do for yourself. I think for me, it's not just with women, right? A lot of people in jail, they are batjha ba batho ba ba nang le power ho feta bona, right? So for instance, you'll realize with us gents, a guy who has more money than me, ke grootman. So it now becomes intimidating. That grootman it comes from an intimidating place. Even if this person is younger than me or has no, or even if their moral compass is not as aligned as mine would be, even if they are not as well spoken as me, even if they don't have better attributes than I do, as long as they are in a position that I feel is much more powerful than me, then I am intimidated by it. I don't think it's just in relationships, but in the aspect of relationship, it always goes back to how do I lead someone that has much more to offer in life than I do. And I know I say that and it sounds kind of offish because just because you've accomplished yourself and I haven't does not mean that we can offer to this life, that I can't offer to this life what you have, right? But that's the thing. That's the thing is that you've already done these things. I haven't. So I don't see myself in a position where I can improve your life because in my view, there is no improvement for you to do. I still need to work on myself a lot. Also, there comes the thing of, again, being afraid. And I'm sorry, I know you said these are repeated answers, but now the fear comes in of this is a well step. For instance, Kirila Taxi, and I am with a doctor, female doctor, right? And now I am unable to pour petrol for her on some days. I'm unable to change the tires on some days, buy her new tires. I'm unable to, do some things for her. And the intimidation comes in. What if she wants to be with someone who's in a better position? It will always be there. That thought will always be there. What if she once, I mean, we hear these stories. I'm a taxi driver. I take this lady to school and she becomes this matron at the hospital and then she leaves me and dates one of the doctors there and whatnot. It's just that thing. I'd rather date down because there's less pressure there as opposed to dating up. So I think that's why they fear them, which I don't think we should.
100%, 100%.
I honestly do not think you should
Can I say
fear people
something?
in that position.
Yes, come in there. Welcome. Please come in.
Hi. So I wanted to understand the part where fine, most guys they feel intimidated, right? But what are they feel intimidated and leave? So what do you call a guy who's intimidated but is still hanging around? He's still hanging around, but intimidation yeah high he now over to I don't it's not obsession, but now they go in ka 1 foot, so they're not fully into the relationship. First of all, we feel intimidated and they go
Absolutely.
in 1 foot. And then,
Wait,
like,
yeah,
I'd rather work with somebody who's intimidated and leave than somebody who's intimidated, but they're still hanging around. What do you call that? What is that? How do you work with that?
you can't work
That's the
with that
one part that
because you can't
you're
work with
you're
that.
you're
You can't
intimidated. So why are Sasamai here? Why are
because
they still hanging out, hanging around?
because
Listen, can I just
what
say this, man? Because
okay.
wow nyaka, remember, I don't choose how I feel about you. I don't choose how long it lasts. Even if you turn me down, it doesn't mean that I stop feeling how I feel about you. The feeling is still there. So whatever other problems might arise, maybe I figure that I like a pet peeve that I have, right? And realize that you have that. It does not now mean that I don't feel that way about you anymore. The feeling is still there. It's just something that I have to get over. And some people are just more persistent than other people. It's the persistent. Nthong e nngwe ho e nyaka wa e rata, no matter what. Taba wa
Ah, la
feta
re
ka
confuse.
mosadi o ntso o lebeletse hore
Ah, la re trapa mo, la re trapa, la re confuse. O botsa motho ra tsamaye, they don't want to leave. Okay, but
So
you're not in the party, but you're just hanging around. You don't want to go. Why don't you go?
so with a lot of guys is um they are seeking, né? And that's the thing that and I know that you women have picked it up. You guys are not stupid. You guys have seen it. Guys don't move um out of a relationship and then I one for a while and then move into the next relationship. Guys move from Lerato to Ntabise. They cut across the line. So it looks like now this guy now Jolan Tabise Kalarato because he just moved across. So what he's doing is he's sticking around so that no one else. It's a football tactic, 4-4-2. So he's guarding the position in case it becomes fruitful, but he's looking for one that is lower than him so that he has the upper position when he gets into that space. So he's looking downwards. He's looking to date downwards whilst Asamakile, the striker here, because the striker might turn around and go, hey Joe, how about something? How about it's a course? How about it's a school? How about we do something? Let's start a business for you so that you are able to establish yourself. So if the striker then decides we're turning your fate around, he's not going anywhere. Mark my words. So he's playing a football tactic, 4-4-2. He's starting the post, he's making sure no one scores. No one's gonna score here. But if should things turn around and he wins the ball and he's in attack, I trust you me, powerful women, you're gonna be pregnant before you know it, because that's how he's gonna lock down. He's gonna impregnate you, and he's not going anywhere from there on. He's becoming your baby
Yeah.
dad.
Okay.
But then there's a notion of these kind of men. There's a strip line of these kind of men who you just alluded to, who then are actually preying on successful women. They are there to lay you well, and that's it.
You lay
There's
the pipe.
absolutely nothing, and they're not labeled, right? They're not labeled. Why? I still come back to the honesty and truth. And there's even a bro code of we don't tell the truth, bruh. Don't tell the truth. And at this point, it has not helped us in the past 20 years, and it's still not helping us. It was not helping us before, you know. But moving from when would men choose to be honest, and not just with us, it needs to be honest with themselves first, so that they could be honest with us. Where they can't accept that they need to be vulnerable, or this is getting to them and making them vulnerable, they will not be able to do that with us. So the choice first is for them not to attend to themselves. you
I
know
fully
That's true.
I fully get you, and I fully comprehend what you're saying, and I fully understand you. And I want to ask you guys, um, and I want to ask KB in particular because she spoke about the successful women, and And I want to ask you guys, these successful rich guys that you guys are looking for, where do you think they are? Do you think you guys will find them? Or do you think they even exist anymore?
But we never said we wanted successful men or power hungry men or powerful men. All we just said was, why cannot an ordinary guy, l- even if he's a taxi driver, why don't they, why are they scared of powerful women? And
KP, KP, sorry to
hey,
interject. In the amounts of work that you've put into yourself and your business and your life, would you date a taxi driver? You personally.
no, I
Thank
wouldn't.
you. Thank you.
Can
And
I
that's
can
why
I
you
also
guys are
just
not
add on
looking
a
for
little bit?
taxi drivers.
Maybe not a taxi driver, but somebody who's not who's just having a job, maybe an
Yes.
office job.
All right.
Yeah, maybe not a taxi driver, but someone who has a job, man, who goes to work in the mornings in an office. They don't even have to have a position. Can be something work, but not a taxi driver.
Okay.
You know,
But
But
for
what
still,
I'm
me,
Okay.
can
wishing
I
is
also interject there? They still, but still, they if a guy like that approached you, let's say, okay, fine, that guy is working officing, like you say. Um, let's say the person now uhamba ngamateksi wena uhamba nge-BMW or uhamba nge-Mercedes, and this guy approaches you, ungamqoma wena na?
You know what?
Because you
so
say
so
ukuthi umuntu wase-ofisini, umuntu
No, no.
uzihambela
Let me.
ngeteksi, yes, he's working,
Yes,
but when uhamba nge-Mercedes and then umntwana abantu uzihambela ngeteksi and then uyaza kuwe, he approach, would you still go for that guy? Okay, asikhiphe
so
iteksi-ke ahambe ngeteksi.
I believe we work so hard ourselves to get to where we are. So Nati, we gonna find ourselves where also you're not working downwards, right? As much as we're just not looking for rich men, but we're not working downwards. So
So
you
it
live
goes
in a
back,
house, you have a
Remember,
shower, you
hayi ukuthi amadoda
sorry.
ngiyawakhulumela hayi ukuthi amadoda ngiyawakhulumela, but now it goes back. Let's say now he comes from i-background yakhe, like ukuza, like that's as far as that person can get. But honestly, umuntu lo is a genuine person, umuntu ongakuphi uthando wena olufunayo oludingayo, but it's just that financially, or because uhamba ngeteksi, already he's being judged
No,
without being,
but I'm
without
just
ukuthi umuntu
saying, can I just
as ukuthi, okay,
I
this is what I can bring, this is the type of person I am, and I can be the man that you want, but financially angeke ngikhona. But ukuba lapho emotionally, physically, being that partner that you need, he can, but financially ufikela la, those
now,
little things.
according to me, ne, if I can maybe relate to it, because I've often had this, ne, where a guy would just automatically just assume without even just looking at me, and he was like, yo, when I can't even afford you, I can't even, he doesn't even know what I want, but already he's already looking at me and just declared, like, I get a lot of inboxes or, yo, KB, I like you, but I feel like, yo, you are too much for me, like I won't even be able to handle you, like they don't even know me, dude. I even have 00 in my account, and you're already saying I'm too much, guys, like, nah. You haven't even told me your situation. I don't even know if you have a golf nyana or a uno nyana, but you're already saying, hi, 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 KB, no, when you are too much. The way I present myself, yes, I would say I present myself quite well, but you already declaring yourself for when you don't even want to approach me, you don't even want to start, you don't, Bona, you don't. So what would you say?
but you know what, KB?
Bonane, let's say
Now listen, now with
let's
me,
hold on,
say
hold
guys,
on.
I've really worked hard to be where
sorry, let's say
so
you're
I would not call my a man or see, not who judge or anything, but I'm not working downwards. I'm working upwards. So can we at least actually something remove it upwards? A kilo berekela ko tlase. I go o tlhapela ka mo Vascom, nna ke tlhapela ka mo bateng, re berekela ko fatshe. Le bona, you know, black men especially, they don't downgrade. Black men don't downgrade. So o kreya o na le ditšhelete tsa hao.
That's
If yena o impila, he's not going down. He's not gonna go date somebody ngwanyana a senang selo a irang. So why are we finding ourselves where now we have to downgrade because monna o tla o fa lerato, because no. I'm not willing to go down. I'm sorry if nna le nna have my own standards. You buy fine, I have a car, I said BMW, I wanna go, it's fine. But unna guy. Are you at least we release something ka bophelo ba hao? Tšhelete eo e berekelang eo, did it at least get you a townhouse nyana or something ya mbata shawara? And then o tla bona hore berekisana bjang. But don't come empty handed and then looking o lebeletse hore I must support everything. No. No, I'm not willing to go.
I mean, that's it. Then we give it to one ranta.
You know, there's several things in the past decade, going on 2 decades, that I've learned about this subject, because I was that naive girl who was like, just accept a human being. Everybody is a human being, and everybody has the capacity to love. You know, and I mean, I've dated a guy who had a learner's license, and I had a Yaris at the time, and it was my first car. And that experience taught me, hore, hair is say, see, if you at your age were able to do 1, 2, 3, 4, what was happening that caused him not to be able? Because I found that created barriers. The self-confidence dropped, even when you are supportive, even when you're like, because now I was pushing him to go and finish his get his license. He had already had one a license at Baring Lenas expire. Ne? And this one was on the verge of getting expired. So experience teaches me, Hore, if you have not pulled your weight, my brother, I can psychologically, there's things that I've learned that you have not learned, and we will not be able to meet each other in a place of growth. But apart from that, I would like to ask, why do few men invest in self-empowerment? Because if anything, what I'm taking out from today's conversation is men have a lot of self-talk, and they talk themselves out of experiences they want. So what are you doing with these unresolved thoughts, emotions, and behaviors that you are showing up with? And, you know, women community has taught the woman to always strive, always do more. For you to be accepted, you must do more than what the man is doing. You know, the patriarchal system, the whole of it is just conditioned in that way. And I'm tired. I'm not going to lie. I'm 38 years old now. I don't have a time to listen to a man. I'm single, but I cannot even sit for a conversation. You are committed. You want to have my time. I don't have time. So why are you not resolving? Because moving from one person, from Galen to Ntabiseng, you are taking the same load. You can marry. I remember I said to one of my brother-in-laws, within the first year of their marriage, for even if you can leave my sister now, trust me, you are going to go there and you will go with this unresolved baggage, and you will have it in that partner too, because you did not unlearn it here, or you did not grow out of it here. So that's my question. Why do few men, not all of them, few, I want people to understand that I recognize that we have brothers that are doing self-work, and they're doing amazing. But it's the scale is in reverse, right? We want the 1% to 3% to be this 97% as
So,
women.
Sire, I used to be a tyrant in my day. That guy that you speak about that hopped here and hopped there and hopped there. And up until I got to a point where I was dating someone, and she said to me, exactly those words that you said. You're gonna keep on hopping, looking for the thing that lies inside of you, looking for it externally. I didn't sleep that night. And that's where my healing journey started, is that she then said to me, "Ntho e nyakang, morena bo botle ba, e mo wena." So that
And
which
it's
you are
true.
seeking lies inside of you. And so my message to a lot of men who have not started their self-healing journey is what you're looking for in the skirts of all these women that you are finding all across the town is lying inside of you. It's within you.
Even the challenging, this conversation we just had about the powerful woman, that has nothing to do with the person she is. And if
Come and
anything,
show you.
Mhm.
Come and show you what the psychology of that powerful woman is. So
Mhm.
you grow up in a household where you're single parented by a mother, and all that you've known all your entire life was this woman who provided for you. You find yourself in a situation where a woman has a little bit more than you do, and you find your subconscious mind then quickly runs to the very same traumatic experience or the childhood, that inner child that goes, this feels like mom all over again, because it's a woman providing, it's a woman in power, it's a woman. So that maternal, that mother wound has not healed. So that wound is still there. And the question that you asked again is, when will we men take um, our transformation and our healing journey seriously? Is the day that we get tired of going to prison, the day that we get tired of killing each other, the day that we get tired of getting HIV, the day that we get tired of having campaigns of justice for Mang Mang, justice for Sirelets, or justice for Mkichim. When we get tired of that, we'll stop it, because the GBV will stop then, because we'll get tired of being named these monsters. Uh, the guys that are
And then you
raping you
get
guys,
tired quickly, guys.
the
We've
guys that
left
are
you with
you
tiring
guys,
very fast.
the guys that are raping you guys are not females. Females are not scared of other females. Females are scared of men. And the reason why men don't go to prison is men are scared of other men. So
Mhm.
when we get tired of living in fear, then our healing will start. So what will create that is more men like myself on platforms like this, speaking about how we started our healing journey and making it popular. Because guys are thinking therapy or healing means we're sitting there singing kumbaya, holding hands, and we're doing these weak things that, and we're actually doing other things that are drawing things that hurt us. We get hurt. We got hurt. A lot of men are sitting there, and if you're an honest man today, and if you're sitting there and you can say, in fact, one randa, I want you, because you're a man and you're on the screen, I want you to close your eyes for a second. Just close your eyes. Just close your eyes and listen to me. I want you to think back to a time when someone hurt your heart. They shattered your heart, and they cheated on you, or they left you, in the midst of everything, with your heart still loving and yearning them. The ladies can do it too. When someone still loved you full-heartedly, think about it. Can you get their name? Got it? Come back. You got it? You can open your eyes, one ranta. You can open your eyes. That's how quickly the subconscious
Going.
look. He's still in that space because it's coming up that vividly, and that's how your subconscious is thinking. So these justice for Mang Mang is sprouting from that. Is that it's still sitting here? It's fresh in our subconscious, and you're thinking, the reason why I want to hurt these women is because I want to hurt women. No, it's because a woman hurt you, and you think replicating the pain onto another woman is going to heal that hurt. It's not. It's just that it's sitting fresh in your subconscious. And you keep on repeating this pain, and you hammer these women. You're hammering these women thinking it's going to ease off the pain. You're just inflicting more pain. and to other women who've got nothing to do with that woman who hurt you. So I want to make healing popular. I want to make that popular. And I want us to make it popular for a lot of men because our brothers need it. And I want you to close your eyes as women right now. As we close and we draw to a close, is there anyone that still feels they want to ask something? If you're still there and you want to ask something or add something, please come through. This is your opportunity. But I actually want to take you guys somewhere now. But let me give you guys on the panel the last closing word. Each one of you guys, you can go first. I'm going to start on the bottom. Spiwe, in your closing section, what would you like to say? Over to you. You need to unmute. There we go.
Yeah,
Unmute. There we go.
I would like to say, I think those conversations we need to have them more often because abanye we always go back to EX, and even though you pray for his whole time, but somehow you always go back or he comes back. So moving on into another relationship, even though you've made a progress about forgiving yourself and him, but you always, go back to that person. So I think healing iyafuneka. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Siyabonga kakhulu. Thank you for your contribution, Sister Spiwe. Very true. Sister Spiwe says forgiveness is important. Yafuneka bafowethu. I'm going to hand over to KB. On your closing lines and your closing words, what would you like to say to our brothers? If your uncle was listening, if your brother, if your son is listening, what would you say to him?
I think that guys shouldn't be so hard on themselves. Like they are doing well, and the worst a person could say is no, and you know where you stand. But don't be hard on yourself and give yourself a chance. You'll never know what's waiting for you.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, that's so reassuring and heartwarming. Okay, Utimachita, we are doing well. Too. Ease up on yourselves. We're doing well. We're still winning, guys. Come on. Mabo, street talk with Nomster.
Okay. I would like, you know what, if there's more men listening, I mean, we would like to hear, we would like to hear honesty from men. As much as it will hurt, but tell us the truth. If you're not feeling me, you don't want me anymore, just go, like stop lying to us. And you're opening too many doors. You're holding on to me, you're holding on to saying, and we are struggling to move on because we're thinking Tabo is still there, but Tabo has left long time. Honesty is the best medicine. And yeah, thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. Hey, Sibongile says, guys, honest, guys. If you guys are tired of us, let us go, man. There's someone else looking for us. Give them an opportunity to love us like how we want to be loved. Let us go. Go Kichim. Oh, Kichimaka cool. In your clothes.
On my close, I don't have much to say, but yeah, man. Like Springlo was saying, honesty is key. If men could just open up with us, it could save a lot of relationships. Irregardless, which is or what. None of us let us sit down and talk about it and resolve it. And unlike omunye and we never resolve any issue. That's a lot. Into kakhulu abantu besimame abayikhalelayo is honesty. Yeah, I guess that's my 2 cents. But I'm just agreeing no Sibongile lapho.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Honesty, Machita. Yaboneza. Again, it comes up. Honesty. Tire, what do you say?
Yeah, it has been a theme, right? Truth and honesty. For me, in closing, you know, you can have two children, six, it doesn't matter, from a home, from a family that has so many ailments, and one child decides, I'm going to be like my uncle and my father and my grandfather because I saw it at home, and the other one says, well, I am going to do it differently and give myself a better life because I saw it at home. So, I would like to say to the men, decide, make a decision. Waiting for yourself to tire might actually hinder your capacity to be able to do the work for healing. Allow yourself to check because it's not a capacity issue. That's what I learned for myself. It's not a capacity issue. If you think personal development, personal empowerment, healing, transformation, it's about your capacity. It's not. It's not about your capacity. It's more about how is your life going and where you think you could have done better. What is holding you back? And you take the time to sit and look at those things in private without Majida laughing at you, without who says what. You let go of those people and you sit in private and you look at what is holding you back. Be honest with yourself first. As much as we would love to share in that honesty with you, if you can't do it with yourself, you will not be able to do with us. And grace to you guys. It's challenging. You guys have a lot historically on your hands and the pressure to perform. And I give you full permission to let go of that pressure. You matter, and you can only be the best version of yourself if you feel loved, if you feel supported, if you feel like you don't betray yourself. And if you feel like things are not working out, that's just an indication of healing. It's not a measure of your capacity. Rather, seek the support. Seek. And sometimes healing is about learning and understanding so that you can adjust because you have the skills, you have what you need already within you. Blessings.
I good Tiwa, we are doing good. Good Tiwa, we've got the skills, guys. We've got a lot on our plates, and
We
we are
see
loved.
you.
Yes,
We
Lord,
see you.
Humulemo, aka One Randa. In your closing, what would you say to the brothers as a brother? Um,
My closing statement sort of has to do with the last question, which Wandile asked, when do we start working on ourselves? Gents, let's not wait for us when we are ready to get married, when you are ready to spend the rest of your life with this one woman, and only now you want to understand how lobola negotiations work, how traditional proceedings work. Don't wait until there's a funeral at home or there's a funeral at home for you to learn how to slaughter that cow. Do not wait to learn ukuthi, do not wait for for certain situations for you to start working on yourself, because a lot of the times we only start working on ourselves when it's necessary. I don't think that there is ever a perfect time for you to start. This is in relationships, in business, in personal development, and psychological development, which I think a lot of men don't focus on. We think a lot of men just don't have mental issues. And me, I'm speaking this as the young man that I am. I know today, if I tell my friends I have mental problems, but what I should to me lo half, so I I I don't need for me to go through I don't need to wait for me to go through a certain experience for me to actually start doing things for myself, especially, right? Don't wait for anything. Do not wait for the perfect time. There's no such thing as a perfect time. You're doing great already. Just keep doing what you're doing. Avoid being around negative energy. Avoid involving yourself in negative energy. If it's not good for you, distance yourself from it. We
yeah.
have limited time here. I would rather we spend our limited time focusing on the good than we focus on the bad. We're using way too much substances, we're drinking way too much alcohol, we're spending way too much money on gambling, and all those three things I just mentioned. If only the men of this generation could stop doing those things in jail, especially black men, if we were to stop taking in so much substances, so much alcohol, stop spending so much money on gambling and casinos and these nude bars and everything, we would be so much greater as a nation. We would be having so much more innovations, and we would be further in life as a people. So yeah, I just want to say that, gents, we need you. We need you now more than ever.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Wanranta. I just want to say thank you to everyone that came on, all 900 people that are here with us watching. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to you guys. Thank you for giving me your time and your energy. Thank you for coming on to Umoya. Umoya Uyaphila, Umoya Right, Umoya Bright. Always. Thank you so much for investing your time with us. I just want to take you on a short journey, and I want you, just wherever you are, everyone, just to close their eyes and allow me to take you on a short journey to somewhere where you've been before. And perhaps let's go there together. If you close your eyes with me, and I just want you to forget about everyone else, and I just want you to close your eyes there. I want you to take a deep breath in, and I want you to exhale. And I just want you to focus yourself on that breath. I want you to breathe in deeply and out again. And I want you to feel your body relaxing. And bring your whole energy into a relaxed state. The thoughts that are rushing into your head about deadlines and reports, allow them out of your head and allow your body to finally relax. The amounts of responsibilities that you have to do, please let that go and relax and alleviate that from your mind. Allow your body to be able to relax. Overlook that and overlook the pressure. And once your body is relaxed, I want you to get into a space where you remember a father, a grandfather, a brother, in the state that they are in. If they've transitioned into the next life, I want you to envision them in front of you. And I want you to say to them, well done. You were a man, you were a father, you were a grandfather, you were a pillar, you were a strength. You showed me manhood. I want you to look at the brothers that you've got in your life, whether you speak to them or you don't. And I want you to hug them in your spirit sense where you are. And I want you to feel them greatly and say thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being that masculine energy that I needed to learn from. Thank you for coming to teach me what you've taught me. I want you to hold them closely and say thank you. I want you to remember all the men that have come into your life, those that have taught you lessons, those that have hurt you, and say thank you for teaching me what you have taught me. Those that have given us children, left them with us, not taken care of them, and who've hurt us, who've come into our lives, who we saw as damage, I want you to say thank you. I want you to release them from your energy. And if you're a man, I want you to sit there and you thank your father. Perhaps he wasn't there. Thank him. Perhaps he wasn't even there, and his absence taught you what a father is. And if your father is still there, I want you to thank him. I want you to thank your forefathers for fathering. I want you to thank your grandparents, your granddad, and his granddad, and the granddad before him. I want you to thank them for the lineage in which they've given you, the space in Africa they've given you, the impact that they've had. I want you to thank them for the DNA they've given you. And I want you to hug them. Those that have transitioned that you have missed, I want you to hug them. In that moment, see yourself hugging them. And in that moment, in that hug, when they've all huddled against you, around you, I want you to listen with your heart for this moment. I want you to hear them say to you, something you've been yearning to hear. And I'm going to be quiet for a few seconds to give them that opportunity to speak to you. Now hold that message sacred. Your heart needed to hear that. I want you to say goodbye to them. I want you to love them. And now that you know that they walk with you everywhere, I want you to return and be with us. And you can open your eyes when you're ready. You guys feeling good? You guys feeling right? Thank you so much for giving us your time. Thank you. I know you could have been anywhere in the world. We were meant to have an hour session, but we cannot have an hour session when our people are learning, unlearning, and relearning who we are. Our stories were never written down, so this is our form of writing down our history. On Moya, this is what we do. This is who we are. We are rewriting every page of our own history for ourselves and our kids. One page at a time, every Monday, 7 o'clock. I think this conversation needs to continue. What do you guys say? KP, what do you say? Spiwe, Chireletso, Humulemo, are you there? Next week, Monday, 7 o'clock.
No problem. Let's meet next week, Monday at 7 o'clock.
100%. I see this being a series. I don't see this ending really soon because there's so much that you guys have to ask Amajid. And I'll make sure with you next week we have more guys for you to be able to answer. Wanranda, thank you so much. Spiwe, Chireletso, KP, Moya, Mamiya, thank you so much for putting us together. Have a good night. I'll send you off.